Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Spirituality in Action. I remain your host, Clement Eto. With me on the program is Mr. Chris Ugwueze. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody.
Oh,
As I have been said, my name is Chris Ugwueze. I belong to First Church of Christ Scientist Abuja.
awesome.
The topic of our discussion this evening is, quote unquote, the fields are white, ready for the harvest.
That's a nice introduction. Thank you very much, sir. Together, as my guest has said, we'll be treating the topic, the fields are white, ready for harvest. Before we proceed, I would like to announce that we'll be having a special 1-hour edition of the program on the 19th of December 2024 with an international speaker, and the topic we'll be treating then is the truth that frees mankind. Second lecture of that, a live-in walking lecture of that, would also be taking place on the 22nd of December 2024, and that will be taking place in Iju, First Church of Christ Scientists in Iju. You're welcome to attend that in-person lecture. Stay tuned for more as regards that. Now, without wasting time, I will go straight to it. Sir, now, how do you understand Jesus' statement, the fields are white, all ready to harvest, in your own life? How can we rely on this spiritual truth to accomplish what may seem challenging or even impossible, knowing that God's provision and readiness are already present?
Thank you, sir. As I've already mentioned, the topic is a statement from John 4:35. And for me, there are two main points I can take from the statement. One, that Jesus said fields, not failed. And this means that we were talking about different circumstances and situations of life in which we pass through. Second one is the word ready, which signifies an invitation to act immediately, expeditiously, and without wasting any other time. It is an invitation to seize the moment and act decisively in any situation that we find ourselves, which requires us to act and not delay. In life, as we go through life, healing ideas and principles are available in scriptures, Science and Health, Bibles, and other spiritual books which are published by our publishing society. But sometimes also in our life experiences, oftentimes we get distracted by mortal illusions and beliefs in such a way that we lose sight of what we should be doing to reap the harvest, which Jesus said, told us is ready. Examples. A man who wants to get a job, but is specifically thinking of a particular job he must be in or a profession, not listening to divine ideas and inspirations directing him otherwise, is not ready for the harvest. He may be thinking of being a banker, but divine mind is directing him that he's going to do better as a teacher or professor in a university. Similarly, a lady who wishes to marry but gives conditions and refuses to be alert to what God is telling her because she feels she wants to marry a particular person from a particular place or a particular profession, has not made her mind attuned to what God is telling her. Because she rejects persons that are coming to her in that environment, such persons are qualified, but they do not meet those conditions she has set for herself. Though, in that case, she will remain in the marriage market. Same thing with a businessman who wants to go into business, but he is waiting to get millions of naira to get into that business. He has forgotten that business is about entrepreneurship or idea generation. He wants to borrow from what somebody is doing. Maybe his mind is on somebody who is dealing in electrical parts. But divine mind may be directing that he's better in agribusiness. If he continues that way, he has missed the mark. He is not ready for the harvest because he has ignored the fact that business thrives on entrepreneurship. And that is idea generation. He has to generate his own ideas and act on it. The point I am making is that what delays our progress and the realization of the harvest we need in many situations is our human outlining and inability to listen to and act on divine inspirations. In other words, looking deep into realism instead of the outward sense of things, as our leader wrote in page 129 of Science and Health. I give a testimony about, I have a testimony on this I wish to share. Some time ago, I noticed was on both ankles of my legs. Having embraced Christian Science and this teaching, I was not disposed to the use of drugs to obtain the healing for the ailment. At that time, my prayers were not scientifically based. They were just haphazard and inconsistent, and the difficulty lingered on. However, an embarrassing and sarcastic remark by a relative that my ankles were an eyesore and looked like the ankles of a very old man greatly jolted me into action. What I discovered was that I had erroneously believed that with time the wax would go. That was where the delay to my healing rested. Healing was due, but my mind was ill attuned. One of the ideas that helped me to overcome this immediately came to mind, and it is the idea from Ephesians 4:5-14. It says, "Now is the time to awake out of sleep." I noticed that I was all along sleeping. Sleep is an illusion, inability to feel the realism that is around, because I had believed that with time the sickness will go. So, after taking that inspiration to mind, my mind also was taken to the parable of the tares and the wheat, Matthew 13:24-30. I considered myself as a spiritual image, created in spiritual image and likeness of God, without blemish or scars, pure and perfect, analogous to the wheat. My mind was then asking me, where then comes the tares to defile the field. My short search led me also to the statement written by Merigwe Kaede about the tares and the wheat in page 72 of Science and Health. In part, it reads, the tares and the wheat are not united by progress, but separated. Consequently, my ankles have nothing to do with what. I was also searching, and I remember my mind, I was taken to the book of Ezekiel 12:25, which some time ago, as I was listening to a television audience, I caught the inspiration there. And that portion is saying, I am the Lord, I will speak, and the word that I will speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged. These were the things I was working on, and at no short time, I got my healing. And I realized that my healing had come. One day I was in a bathroom as I was trying to brush my ankles. I noticed that the words were no longer there. Thank you. That's the inspiration for the first question you're asking me.
Thank you very much. That was very, very insightful. So we can think of it as a demand to recognize that all good, all provisions, all that we need is already prepared for us by God right here and now. That God's good isn't something distant or conditional. It's fully available. And we are not required to create good out of nothing or to compel God to provide His good to us, but to discern and accept the good that God, divine love, has already established for us. Is that it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I concur. I concur.
Thank
Very
you.
well.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
very, 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 very much. Those
Thank you.
your insights have been very, 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 very wonderful, and I'm sure our listeners would have taken in more than a thing or two. Without wasting time, for inquiries and comments, get in touch via email to spiritualityonpoint@gmail.com. I'll take it again, spiritualityonpoint@gmail.com. Spiritualityonpoint, one word, @gmail.com. You can also reach us via telephone. The numbers to call are 080 33 33 3803 or 080, I'll take the number again, 080 33 33 3803 or 080 62 31 4394. I'll take the number again, 080 62 31 4394. And now for those of you who would like to acquire our textbook, Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures, you can do so by reaching out to us on any one of the numbers provided, and with your name, full name and address, and a copy of Science and Health will be sent to you. Thank you and have a lovely weekend.